Coffee with Keto Simple. My name is Dustin. I'm so glad you're here. This stream will be starting soon, so grab your coffee, get comfortable, and settle in. We're building a strong and supportive community, so say hello in the chat, ask questions, and feel free to use super chats if there's anything that you want to see highlighted. Thank you for being here and being a part of this journey. Let's keep it positive and respectful as we connect and grow together. I can't wait to get started. Good morning and welcome to Sunday Morning Coffee with Keto Simple. My name is Dustin. I'm so glad you're here. This stream will be starting soon, so good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. Thank you so very much for being here. Truly appreciate each and every one of you. Yes. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. It's Sunday. I'm Dustin. This is Sunday Morning Coffee with me, Keto Simple. It's one of my favorite days of the week, if you couldn't tell. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. A lot of people already here saying hello. But yes, good morning, everyone. I hope you have your coffee in hand because we've got a great discussion ahead. I've been seeing a lot of diet shaming happening over on Twitter. And something that's bothered me quite a bit about that for basically the whole weekend. And, that's something that takes place in the keto, the carnivore space. It happens in Weight Watchers. It happens everywhere as far as I am concerned. I mean, as far as what I see, right? So whether you're not clean enough or not doing it right, or you're having too much fat, or not doing enough protein, or whatever, you're not doing it the right way. But here's the thing. We are all on our own health journey. And the last thing we need is gatekeeping. So let's talk about why this needs to stop and how we can build a stronger, more supportive community instead. So I'm not going to share the tweet that I saw. I'm not going to put the person that was put this out on blast or anything like that. That's not what this is about. This is one of those things where they were saying something along the lines of, are you a carnivore, like steak and eggs carnivore, or are you a bacon wrapped everything and eating lots of cheese carnivore? And I'm like, what's the difference? Why are we gatekeeping health? Why are we gatekeeping someone finding a journey that works best for them? Why are we doing that? That doesn't make any sense to me. And it just really gets under my skin. You know what I mean? It really just does. It really gets under my skin because there's no reason for it. And I'm sure you all agree with me on that. It looks like Evelyn is here. Good morning. She's here bright and early, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed every single Sunday. Truly appreciate you, Evelyn. Yesterday was your birthday, and I hope it was magical. And we get to give you a birthday hug on Tuesday. And I'm excited. See, look, she says Tuesday, Tuesday, Tuesday. It's like Sunday, 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 just without the monster trucks. But that being said, here's my coffee. I hope you have yours. Again, let me have my first sip of this coffee today. Mm, that's delicious, and I truly love this coffee. Oh, my lights aren't all on. There we go. I don't know if that makes much of a difference for you all, but here I am. She says, meaning, I can't wait until Tuesday to see Dustin and meet Chandra. I'm excited for that too. We were talking about that last night. She's nervous about meeting everybody. She's not the best at social situations. She's kind of like Joe in that, where she's good on camera, but she's not necessarily as good. I think she'll be better than she thinks she is. I think it's going to be better than she thinks it is. But yeah, Christian Delorme, my good friend. Bonjour, everybody. He is here. I hope you and the wife are doing okay. I was on a live with him for a little bit last night on a friend's channel. Had a good time. Always a good time. United Carnivore is here. Greetings from Tampa Bay. Yes, super excited to see you all here. Sherry Reagan is in the house. Good morning from a cool and wet Leavenworth, Kansas. It's cool here. It's like 61 degrees. I just opened the bedroom window. So when I'm done with this, I can kind of relax a little bit with some cool air in the bedroom. Super excited for that. Brian is here. Good morning, Brian. He says, good morning, all. Each and every one of you. Jeff is here. Good morning, Jeff. Vinyl Revival, which is Christian Delorme's other account. He says, bonjour, everybody, from my other account. Yes. Look, it's Rockin' Keto Amy. Good morning, Amy. I'm so glad to see you. Again, another person I get to see on Tuesday. I haven't synced her since KPL. $33 from Montreal, Canada. We are being treated to an early spring freezing rain. So is that 33 Fahrenheit or 33 Celsius? Because I think 33 Celsius is like really hot or something. Because zero's freezing. I don't know. I think we figured that out, Mr. Delorme. John Gugahan is here. Good morning, Mr. Gugahan. I'm glad that you are here. Oh my goodness gracious. Yes. Sandy Blythe is here. Good morning from Florida. I'm glad to see you. And I'm glad to see you too, Mr. Brian Doyle. Thank you for being here. Andy's asking, are you late? Sometimes I'm just a little tardy. I'm tardy. I'm not always on the most time. I had to get together a drink. I had to bring my coffee up here. I had to go and open the window. But I made it. The show has started. We are here. I'm going to give you 3 hours, most likely. We'll see. We'll see for sure if you deserve 3 hours today. John says it is a good morning, and I am happy to be here. Well, that is beautiful. Excuse me. Vinyl Revival from Mr. Christian Delorme, $10 Canadian. Being the first today, here is some sweet keto money. Yes, sweet keto money. I love sweet keto money. That helps us. That helps this channel. It helps me get through things. It helps me get to places. It helps me get to meetups. It helps me get down to places like the podcast that I'm doing with Dr. Kiltz later in the mid-April. I'm going down to Tennessee and I'll be doing a live podcast recording with Mr. Dr. Kiltz. I'm not sure what he's going to talk to me about, but we're going to figure it out when I get down there, I suppose. We'll have a good time. I can talk, so it'll be interesting. I'm not really all that familiar with Dr. Kiltz, but probably should look into him a little bit, but you know how it goes. Sean is here. Good morning, Sean. Thank you, sir. I hope you and the wife are doing wonderful today. If you can see that I've got the right there. There's the gift that Sean gave to us. I haven't got a plug in yet. I don't have an extra plug right there just yet. I got to figure out how to get the plug down and around to where I can plug it in so it'll light up. It is a light, a desk lamp. I like it. Gives me the Mickey ears. I love it. Jay is in the house. Good day and good day, Dustin and chat. Love from down under. Thank you for being here, Jay. It's so good to see you. I'm glad you were here for all the way from Australia. A place so Australia is one of those places that it's very intriguing. I want to visit there, but like it's kind of like Florida in a way. Like you visit Florida because there's a lot of cool stuff to see, but Florida's probably one of the more dangerous states to visit because there's like gators in every puddle and all that stuff. You know, I mean, there's a body of water you can guarantee there's a gator in there or has been in there. That's just kind of how I see Australia. I want to go. Well, it is really, really, really far. Like you got to get on multiple planes to get to Australia and be in the air for a long time. I want to go. My friend was married to an Australian girl for a good while, and she lived here, and now she lives back in Australia. Shout out to Holly. Um, Hope she's doing good. I haven't seen her. She's one of those people that's kind of in and around like social media, but then is not around social media very much. So not sure how she's doing. Hope she's doing okay. Barbara Castor. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here, Barbara. I got your gift. It was so very lovely. Thank you very much for your helping out. I got that the other day. That was a very pleasant surprise. I truly appreciate that very much. And I did reach out and say thank you over on the Mighty Networks under Chris Cooking Nashville's Mighty Networks. If you guys aren't a member over there, go and jump in over there. Helps him and his lovely wife out tremendously. I'm over there. Victor's over there. Lots and lots of lovely people over there as well. I am going to be having my own space there. Super stoked about that. Going to be able to post things there as well. So you can find me there and interact with me there, should you so choose. Yes, Christian, thank you so much for supporting the channel. True, I mean, it really means the absolute world to me that you guys are here every Monday. If it was Monday, you'd be here every Sunday morning. You guys start getting here 30 minutes before I do. You guys show up before I get here. You guys hang out with me the entire time. You're here to you donate where you don't have to. I don't truly expect any of you to do that, but it does truly help me do things that I need to do. It does help pay for these streaming services and all the things that we need to do to make this channel run. Um, I have a new thing that I have NordVPN. Um, so I do use a VPN now. So NordVPN, if you are interested in one of those, link in ketosimple.shop, you can sign up using that link and you get 3 free months. And I believe if you sign up using that, I get 3 free months too. I signed up for 2 years. So I'm only like the first month in. So I don't know if I got an extra. I don't know if I have like 27 months or whatever it is. I don't know. I got a really good deal when I signed up. But that'll help you. There's always good sales going on with those. So if you are looking for a VPN, I'm not sponsored by them, but just one of the things that I have there now that I use, and then it does give me the opportunity to share a little bit of extra with you guys. And if you use my link, I get 3 free months too. That's pretty cool. So check that out. And yeah, of course, for a great cause. Yes. All these wonderful people saying hello to each other. I love all of you guys. Saying hellos and highs and Dustin at play. Good morning. I haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. He says this too. It's been a while. Well, I hope you are doing well. I hope you are on track. I hope you are living the life, living the vida loca, if you will. And that doesn't age me. I don't know what does. You know, Cindy is here. Everybody raise a glass. Raise your coffee to Cindy. Sure, she's got her Alani close by. Mm. Which those are, so that's a weird energy drink for me. We have some in the garage, and I'll pick one up every once in a while. They're only like, they're like, what are they? 12? I think they're 12 ounces, maybe 8 ounces, 12 ounces, and there's 200 milligrams of caffeine. Like you just like, it's like two sips and it's gone. And then you're like, woo. So glad to see you, Cindy. She says that I'm mean to her. And I said on her stream on Friday that I'm probably the meanest person in this community. Mm. I don't really think that's true. But she sure seems to think that I'm mean to her. What do you guys think? Andy says Chandra will be fine. She's a sweetheart and can't wait to give you both a hug and introduce Susan to her as well. Yeah, I'm excited for her to meet everybody. Susan and everybody, all these wonderful people going to be out there on Tuesday. Yeah. Stacy is here. She's bringing me eggs on Tuesday, 6 dozen eggs that I will give her money for. Woo! Super excited for that. I love eggs. Yes, and also with Stacy, yesterday was also her birthday. It was her birthday and Eva Lynn's birthday. Happy birthday. We got balloons to celebrate birthdays. Stars, confetti, and falling hearts for all the love. All the love and joyous occasions for you two beautiful ladies' birthdays. Dustin says, coffee was slow this morning. I made my coffee at the same time I was making Chandra's this morning. So a little after 6. So mine's kind of set. So it's a little not super duper hot because I use boiling water. And that's a good idea, Mr. Christian Delorme. He says, when I talk temperature to my American cousins, it's always in Fahrenheit. So it's like you guys are on the metric system, but not for everything. I know, like I was watching something about like over in England, you still like, there's still all like liters, but then there's just things that you still go with imperial measurements or whatever, like your feet and all that stuff. But yeah. I have birthday suit coffee from Bones in my cup. I know you're jealous. Bones and birthday suit. That's where kids come from. Um, I mean, I'm trying to be good here, y'all. But anyway. Oh, I love you guys. You guys are awesome. Stacy says, thank you. I'm about the same. I'm seeing my doctor early tomorrow. Good. I am so very glad. So, like, I've been dealing with, like, Stacy's always having surgery, like, and then we've picked up another, like, basically another bonus kid with a comedian friend that we made a friend with a comedian, and we've been worried about him and his eye situation. It keeps not getting better, and he's currently in Canada on tour, and because he was in like New York, and now he's in Canada, and is trying to get treatment for his eye. And he's got to go see have to get a referral from an optometrist to go to see a specialist. because when we were hanging out with him, he was thinking that it was he was thinking it was pink eye, but it turned then Shander looked at it and was like, it's been a few days, and the fact that it's only in one eye, that it was probably not pink eye. It was most she was thinking it was likely a scratched cornea. But then he went and saw somebody, went to the ER, and it turns out it was like some kind of chemical burn in his eye. And so it's just like the vision's been bad and he can't see very good. And there's just that puts him at a very, very great disadvantage. And he's like one of our kids. And like, we're just like, we like, I hope you get better. I hope you're seeing. And I was like, look, I can make calls for you because I know he's very busy. And I'm like, look, I can play your assistant. I can make calls. I can try to help. And you know what I mean? Like, and I hope that that didn't sound too weird, but like, I'm here. I want to help people, whether it's here doing this, talking with you guys, whatever the case is. But I'm like, you know, if I can get on the phone and figure something out, like look at his tour dates and go, okay, you're going to be here and then you're going to be here. Let me try around this place, see if we can find a specialist with this referral. It's just one of those things. I'm like, same thing we would do with our kids, just like you guys would do with your kids. You like you raise your kids hopefully to make sure that they can do things on their own, but then there's just certain things that I just remember my mom was always really great at doing things, and she really helped me get to a point where I was able to just reach out. And then I had jobs where I was had to be, I had to get out of my comfort zone and start making phone calls. And the kids today hate the phone. Kids today hate talking on the phone. I grew up where talking on the phone was like an activity. We just it was you just talked to your friends on the phone. And my mom, I remember there was things about my mom. I remember she'd put us to bed and I'd lay like we had a small apartment and I would lay in bed at night and listen to her talk to her friends on the phone, and I would hear her tell stories about her life, people that she knew and experiences that she had. And a lot of those stories probably weren't appropriate for me to hear, but I mean, tiny apartment. She talked on the phone. I would listen. I'd lay awake for like what felt like hours and just listen to her tell these stories. And it's just, I think the art of talking on the phone is lost. And I think there's so much that you can't express through text. Now, I do really enjoy texting because I think texting has advantages because texting, you can have a conversation throughout the entirety of a day where, I mean, granted, it could have been like a 10-minute phone call, but we often don't have 10 minutes at the same time to talk with each other. We're always on the go, we're always busy. But I can text with you throughout the day, and we something we could have summed up in a 5-10 minute phone call, but we could have that throughout the day. So we have that interaction, the capability of interaction throughout the day, which I think is really nice and is a big bonus with texting. But there's so much that's lost. So sometimes I'll send voice notes. Um, if it's truly something that's complicated, that's not going to really resonate in text, I will send a voice note. So just know if you text me, you may get a voice note from me. Might be long. You never know. You never know. That's how I communicate with Jaheel like that all the time. Voice notes. You know. Amy says Dr. Kiltz is a carnivore fertility gynecologist expert. He is in the plants will kill you camp. Yeah, I'm familiar with at least that amount of it. I mean, I know like I don't really think plants are poison. I think plants are starvation food. I think if you like them and they don't bother you that much, then have some broccoli. I mean, I don't think anything that we've really cultivated is going to kill you. I mean, time is going to kill us. So, I don't know. I'll talk to him and we'll see. I mean, I don't have to necessarily agree with somebody everything they have to do. I think he is doing great things with his community, and I just hope that he is, and I imagine he is understanding of other, like that's what I want. That's what I want. I want everybody to be understanding that we're all in this together and we're all going to do it our own little bit of a different way. But, yeah. Sean says it was either Mickey or a goofy hat, but I figured you were already goofy. Yeah. Gorge. Yeah. I don't even think it's so much the big spiders, but there's towns that get overrun with spiders, and it looks like it's snowing with all of their like webs on the ground. No thanks. The snakes, the spiders, the dingoes who eat your baby, and I mean, I don't know. And we can get political, and I'm like, Cindy DeManch for $5 says, "Good morning, Dustin. So sorry I can't be there Tuesday. Serious FOMO will be going on here for sure. If you start walking now, I think you can make it. Let me look this up. Let me see if it's here. Let me truly look this up. Let's see. Because you're in, let's see. Let's see. I'm going to go from Bucky's into, all right, 5.5 hours by car. If you were to walk, it's 121 hours. So get to stepping. You can make it. It's only 121 hours, 333 miles. You can do it. You can do it. It's like almost like a perfect diagonal. You can make it. Let's go. Spoken like a true Australian. Amy, yeah, lots of spiders, but most are friendly. Friendly? I don't think so. The bad ones we don't encounter often. Okay, well, that's still, I mean, terrifying. Jay says Nord is solid, been using it for years. I mean, there were so many options, and I'm like, I was just looking for something that was reputable. Because I mean, you can get like ones that are almost free, and I'm like, I'll just go with Nord. I mean, it was like $80 for 2 years. And if I get people to sign up and get 3 free months, and I get 3 free months, I can maybe get a couple years for free out of it. Risa's Cluttered Kitchen is in the house. Good morning. My basset hound just woke me up. No coffee yet. OMG. Need to train that basset to make coffee. Forever and always known as Tisa. Tisa's Cluttered Kitchen. Lisa is here. Good morning, Lisa. I'm so glad to see you. She says, "Howdy, gang. Sorry I'm late." You know what? This is like a weekly meetup. It goes for like 3 hours. I don't expect people to be here right at 7:30, and I don't expect people to stay the whole time. So just kind of hang out. But I appreciate you. There we go. Look, Guinea Pig is here. Good morning, Mr. Guinea Pig. I appreciate you very much. See, look, everyone's like happy or hey, a guinea pig. Look at that. Sean even knows. Sean knows. Yeah, I don't know what was going on with all this stuff the other day. It was like really weird. I got stage lights too. Look at this. Oh well, I don't know what. I don't know what's going on. Oh, here we go. I don't know what's happening. I don't know why they're not doing what I want them to do. They're showing up on my thing, but not the live. I don't know. Whatever. They're stage lights. They're supposed to be doing things. Thank you for all the birthday love. You get balloons. There you go. Balloons. Falling hearts. Falling heart coffee break. Mm. It's 40. I think it's 61 degrees here right now. I would prefer 40. I like it cool. I would love if I could have like 40 degrees in the morning, 70 degrees, 72 degrees in the afternoon. Perfect. That's what I want. I don't need any of this 80-degree business. If I want 80 degrees, I'll go to the beach. That giggle. I have a lot of giggles. Right? Evelyn and Stacy, they're both 29. Look at that. Our youngest turned 21 this week, and I still don't think he's done anything, you know? I wanted to take him out and do what was traditional for us when we turned 21, and he had like zero interest. And I guess, and and I mean, if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. But it just seems like the interest in that activity has gone way down. Going to those types of establishments, I was gonna, and I was like, when I was 21, that was a thing. Everyone was like, we got to go to one of those. And then, now it's just nobody cares. Christian Delorme, Vinyl Revival for another $5 Canadian. Looking forward to see you guys up here in Canada. You guys have a place to stay, great food to eat, and of course, some homemade spirits. Look at that. Makes his own booze. They're talking about poutine. Everybody loves poutine. That's what I know about Canadian food is poutine. And maybe some I've we had the what's the coffee place? Tim Hortons here for about literally like 2 weeks. They opened it. We stopped by to get a cup of coffee. It was not good, and then the place was gone. I think they tore it down. It couldn't have been there just I don't think it was there a month. I say 2 weeks in jest, but I really honestly don't think it was there for more than a month or 2 tops. Yeah, I think they also picked a very bad place for it too. It wasn't really in like a high traffic area. I think they've put stuff there now that has made it more of a high traffic area. Like if you go to that little intersect and where it is, where it was, there's like a tire place, and now there's a Culver's, there's like a gun range back there now. So now it's a little bit busier. But at the time, it just wasn't like it's out of the way. It wasn't convenient for us to go there. We had to go there on purpose. Dustin and play. Eye issues are rough. I mean, especially for him, like he's already kind of at a disadvantage. So, truly, hopefully he's been keeping me up to date. So I'm really, glad about that. Rick is here. Twin Brook Acres in the house. Hiya, NH Rick. Not to be confused with the other Rick. Stacy says, I'm happy to say I'm healthier at 71 than I have ever been in my life. Of over 20 over 20 medications, resolved all those diagnoses. My surgeries are to replace worn out parts with aftermarket parts. I love you, Stacy. I think that's a good way to look at it. And I think I saw a clip. And I see things now that I don't really know how true they are, especially now with AI. Like I saw something they were showing like they can replace people's vision now and like do something with the eye and plug it into the optical nerve. And I'm like, I know that stuff is coming, but also that freaks me out because of how I know medicine is in this country and other countries. Like, I know, like, there's differences. I know we go into debt for our healthcare, and I know other countries that may have the free healthcare, but then they're waiting 13, 14, 15 months to get seen for something. And so, I mean, and I know it may not always be that bad. Just like here, it's not always as expensive as it seems. A lot of times you can, you can dispute the bills and it'll be way cheaper than than it initially seems. So just a little due diligence with your bills, and you can usually get it down to something that's manageable. You can get like a $50,000 bill down to like $500 because they're like, oh yeah, we charge you, $1,000 per Tylenol or whatever. But anyway, yeah, I worry because I'm not seeing too many movies. Like, if you haven't seen it, there's a movie. It's something like the Genetic Opera. It's a terrible movie, terrible, terrible movie. But there was another movie, Repo, the Genetic Opera. And then there was another movie that came that was kind of like one of those, like, low budget, like, almost trauma-like films, if you're, like, familiar with movies like Toxic Avenger and things like that. Um, but Repo, the Genetic Opera. Oh, man, that was bad. Woo, it was a rough one to watch because, 1, it was like opera, low budget. I think I think the main star in it was actually, like, a legitimate opera singer, Sarah Brightnam, I think is that's who it was, but still, like, it just didn't yeah, I don't know. But the idea, then there was another movie, like, where there was a mass thing happening to people where organs would fail, like your liver would fail, your kidneys would fail, your heart would fail, things like that, your lungs. So then they would implant you with brand new ones. They had the technology to give you those new organs. But if you couldn't pay, they would come and take them back, which is not necessarily truly unreasonable to think that that could happen in this timeline. And Evelyn always says, I always tell people I'm older than I am. I look bad for 29 years old, but I look good for 80. I love it. Yes. So, Brian, I did have the job interview on Friday. I think it went okay. Um, but I'm a little worried about the hours because the part time is like Monday through Friday, like 7 a.m. to 1, which Monday through Thursday doesn't bother me. But the Friday part is one of those things because Shander works on Fridays. And while the girl is in school, if they can work with me for me to get her to school and then get out of there in time to go pick her up from school, fine, perfect. But during the 2 months of summer, and then there's, the 6 weeks through the school year or whatever on Fridays where she isn't in school, then, hopefully they would work with me because I can't be there and I can't be with her at home and at work too. That's where, like, having Fridays off is one of those things. Like, if they can work with me most of the time, it's fine. And then if they can work with me during the summer and spring break, fall break, winter break, and I'd have Fridays off or whatever, that's fine too. I know, like, the pay is pretty bad in comparison to what other places are paying, and I've got applications in other places. Should they decide to not go with me, I know they had other interviews that day. So we'll see. We'll see if they call me. Um, it didn't seem like a bad place to work, but pay wasn't good. Uh, the pay would be what I was making in, like, the dollar amount is what I was making in, like, 2007. But that number versus where we are with inflation these days puts me back to like 1999. So hopefully, hopefully that because where I'm at now, I'm not getting the hours that I want because just timing issues and having the not knowing when I go on a run with what I have now, will it be 2 hours or will it be 12? I just don't know. And they can't tell me because they don't know. Like, the last run I took a run last week, and I'm working like 1 day a week, and, like, I take a run. It was supposed to be, take a crew from the yard to where the train was parked about an hour and a half away, or what I mean, I don't even really know because they don't tell me an address. They just say that, like, here, but they don't tell me where that is. And so by the time I got ready to leave, got to the yard, that had all changed. So then I was taking them somewhere because I was supposed to take them to the train, people on the train back to where I came from and be done. But then that's not how it worked out. So I was only gone for like 3 hours and 3.5 hours, 3 hours and 45 minutes. So but also could have been a thing where then I needed to stay there and help them for a few hours while they did things with the train, and then I would have been gone much longer. So I just never know. That's the issue is with where I'm at now. It pays better than where I may go, but at the same time, there's no way to know for sure like how long I'm going to be gone. I can't plan around it. That's the problem. Mm. This coffee is still very, very hot, but I love it. But thank you for that, Brian. I hope it went well. I think it went well. Um, we'll have to see. Risa says, I still hate talking on the phone, making non-friend phone calls, and I'm 64. I get it. There's a lot of people that just have difficulty being on the phone. But I mean, even my peers that are roughly the same age as me, like they'd always be like, if you call me, I'm not gonna answer, just text me. Because there's no reason to call me. Anything can be done in a text. And sometimes, most of the time that's true, but sometimes you just need to get it out and you just need a little extra. And Barbara's with her. She doesn't like talking on the phone either. Kitchen Witch says, we don't need words. And Evelyn says, I prefer phone over text because you can't catch the inference over text. However, no one I talk with prefers phone over text. I prefer phone over text. I would rather have a phone call, but so that, okay. I would rather communicate over the phone, but the phone is so not convenient. So I would much like I have a friend we go through stints where we talk every day. Then we'll go where we don't talk for a couple of weeks, and then we talk every day. And as much as I enjoy it, it's like I have to like stop what I'm doing most of the time. But like if I'm texting and we're texting, I can be watching a TV show, I could be editing a video, I can be doing stuff. Where if I'm on the phone, most of that has to come to a halt. And so the only person that I truly actually talk to almost, yeah, Shannon and I talk on the phone when she's on her way home from work. Sometimes she'll call me on the way to work if she has something she needs to tell me, and it's just more complicated to try to do voice to text over the car. Which I truly get that as well. And John Guggenheim is asking, what did I miss about Dr. Kiltz? I have been invited to sit down on a and have a podcast in person in Nashville, Tennessee, with Dr. Kiltz. I don't know when it's coming out. I know he's recording like 8 podcasts that day. Uh, I believe Chris and Ash are before me, and then I do it, and then there's people for the rest of the day. There's like somebody flying in and doing one at 9 a.m. because initially they were like you could do it at 9 or 4:30 in the afternoon. Like, well, 4:30 would have been weird because I would probably be with Chris and Ash down there. But then she emailed me back and said, well, somebody canceled, so now there was an 11:30 that opened up. So yeah, so I'll be in Nashville in April to record that and maybe do some stuff with Chris and Ash and Mel. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. There's Mr. Rick, Mr. Quack Quack. I'm doing the last minute auto AC repair this morning. Not your AC. I don't even believe you even have AC in anything you have. Do you have AC in your house? I hope so. You live in my that South Florida with no AC. That would suck so bad. Yeah, and Sean's right here. Sometimes you just want to hear a friendly voice. I text a lot because it's the only way to communicate during working hours. Yeah, I mean, texting, I mean, on a normal occasion, that's the best way to communicate all the time. Because I mean, just like really realistically these days, taking a phone call, like it's just a difficult situation sometimes, you know? And Cindy would much rather talk on the phone. Yeah. How long by bike? Let's see. 32 hours via Cardinal Greenway. 363.3 miles by bike. 32 hours by the Nickel Plate Trail. So, let's see for you. Let's see. I'm just going to go. I don't know where you are in Miami. I'm just going to say Miami. For you, it's 124 hours, give or take. 1,449 miles. So, I don't know if you have enough time to get here, but it's Tuesday. I mean, that's you better. I mean, there's not enough time because tomorrow that's not even 72 hours. You wouldn't be able to make it. So, I saw you mention that in one of the lives the other day, but then I was look then when I was awake for a minute, I didn't see any lives pop up. So I was like, I lay back and fell asleep. So it didn't pop up immediately. So it was kind of like it's early, out of sight, out of mind. And yeah, and Andy didn't have her live. So yeah. But there's a funny one. There's no such thing as a friendly spider. Friendly neighborhood Spider Man. John Gugahan says, has anyone heard from Don and Mike lately? I haven't seen a video from them in a while. Hashtag more Mike. I think they are coming to this Elkhart meetup, if I'm not mistaken. They had mentioned that. I haven't heard from them personally. They're living like their camp life. They're camping. They're having a good time every weekend. They're doing their camper thing, traveling around. So I think they're just really enjoying doing that. So I don't know. I don't know what the future for them holds in the channel. I'm not really sure. But I'm hoping to see them this Tuesday. Really nice because I do. Hashtag more Mike is very important for me. Lisa says good morning. Yeah, so Amy has a video out there. If you were so inclined to go look for it, somebody would want to share that in the chat for people to see her spider avoidance skills. Rick says, I'm getting on a bike to go to Advanced Auto Parts. Advanced Auto Parts. Risa says, I wish dogs could make coffee. That would be great. They have slept through the night 3 nights in a row, getting some real sleep. Well, that's good. Okay, so Stacy saw a post from them that's 2 weeks till their camping season starts. If I did hear right, Stacy, they are planning to be there on Tuesday. I think that's what I saw. I could be wrong because I'm wrong a lot, but Rick says I found and used my old microphone. That's cool. Oh, you saw the stage lights? I didn't show up for me. That's rude. Sean says, we were supposed to go camping this weekend, but we had to cancel because our puppy is sick. Well, she's 15, but still acts like a puppet. Oh, well, I hope she gets better. Sherry is here. Good. It's too early in the morning for me all. Well, I'm glad you're here anyway. Yes. Risa says the closest Tim Hortons is 40 minutes away. Used to go just for the baked goods. Their muffins are so good. Yeah, that was the thing. It's like we didn't even go like we didn't even do any like we just got a coffee. We didn't try anything else. I guess they have like great donut holes or whatever, but that wasn't really something for us because it was here after we were keto. Yeah, and donuts were never my thing, so I'm never like gonna go out of my way for a donut. Not gonna like donuts just weren't my thing. Christian says up here in Canada, the legal age is 18 or 19 years old, depending on the provinces. On his 18th birthday, he wanted to go to the tavern, and I and my dad drank. Okay, well, you guys used to drink. It was pretty cool to have three generations drinking. Yeah, we've been watching this show intermittently called Corner Gas. It's a Canadian kind of sitcom type show. Like nobody, no, I don't recognize any of the characters. It's pretty funny though. I mean, it's like it's not the greatest show, but like when we're trying to kind of in between shows, and it's just something we can put on in the morning or whatever. We can put on like when we get back from taking the girl to school, we're having our coffee. It's something that we can put on, you know. And Christian, that's my oldest son. Heath is here. He's been ear hustling, been eavesdropping for a little bit, but he's here. Hey, yo. Well, welcome, welcome, Mr. Heath. I truly appreciate you, my friend. He's going to be making breakfast. That was 15 minutes ago. He might be done by now. Let's see. Evelyn says, I didn't even get a chance to say hi yet, Hungry Heath. I hope you're having a good morning. Yeah. Someone's like, hey, Hungry Heath. Hope your morning sucks. I hope no one's ever like that. That would be rude. That'd be rude. Sherry says, today is my pupper, little Savannah's 5th birthday. Well, happy birthday, little pupper. Tanya says, my husband has made me endure more than one trauma flick. Ever watched The Last Drive-In with Joe Bob? I don't think I've seen that, but I have a friend who worked for Trauma for a while. And what's the guy who owns Trauma? Like the guy, the main guy at Trauma? Um, Lloyd Kaufman. I've met kind of Lloyd Kaufman before. Couldn't think of his name, but I had a friend that worked for Trauma for a while. I don't know. He would. I don't know. Yeah, kind of cool flicks. I watched like Tromeo and Juliet, Toxic Avenger, and all that stuff. Way, way back. I did see Dead End Drive-In when I was a kid. Oh, that's not a trauma flick. I need to go back and rewatch that because I think there's a lot of the movies that I watched when I was a kid that probably would resonate very differently with me now. Like being like 8 or 9 years old versus seeing a movie now that I'm in my 40s, soon to be mid to late 40s versus early to mid 40s. Kind of about to cross that bridge. Brenda Foley is in the house. Good morning, Brenda. I'm so glad that you are here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Exposing darkness is here. She says, good morning. I miss having someone to talk to on the phone. That is, yeah, I think that's like, I like to talk on the phone when I'm driving. So, like, sometimes if I'm driving back, if I'm out on a long run and I'm driving 3 or 4 hours, I'll talk to Shannon for an hour. I'll make her talk to me like like I talked to her on her way home from work. Granted, her ride home is only about a half an hour. But sometimes it's just nice to have somebody on the other end of the phone, and I mean, it's very comforting to me too because of that fact. Like when I used to lay in bed and hear my mom talk to her friends, tell all the stories of her life and how things were when she was growing up, and there was something very comforting to that. There's something very comforting, talking on the phone, and I think that art is pretty much lost. And I mean, it did kind of ruin me too because I worked at a call center for so long and I talked on the phone all day. That kind of ruins it. Like when you like the last thing you really want to do when you get done being in a call center is talk on the phone more. But like and I really truly enjoy the time that I had because I would leave work and my mom would call me and my grandma would call me, and now they're both gone. They've been gone. My mom's been gone quite a long time. My grandma's been gone a few years now, and they were the ones that truly talked to me on the phone of that era. I mean, it's like, and then I have my buddy who lives in Texas, and we talk from time to time, and you know, Shannon and I talk. But I mean, my brother calls me from time to time, but I mean, it's like I like talking on the phone. It's just not always convenient. Texting is always like you can text me and I can text you back an hour later and it's not really considered rude. I mean, that's how I kind of look at it. Yeah, and Andy's in can't call me. Can't call me instead. Cindy, my issue with texting, you can't hear the attitude behind what's being typed. I just assume it's always a negative attitude, Cindy. Yeah. Andy says my kids text me, then we FaceTime, seeing the baby, always yeah. And now like my brother tries to do that to me, and I'm like, or he tries to call me like through Facebook Messenger, but like all I ever see is the missed call, like never actually rings to me. So I'm like, just call me because like that never comes through and I miss it. And I see it like an hour later. And Lisa says, I can't remember the last time I got a phone call just to chit chat with anyone. I hardly get texts. Sometimes I feel like I'm being ignored. Say lovey, but I do prefer text mother. Yeah, I mean, there are days where it seems like I'm kind of getting a lot. And then there's days like, because I mean, I have the group chat with Victor and Chris, and some days that's like popping. Like Chris and I were, Victor and I were texting until like midnight last night. And then sometime I know like Chris gets super busy. He and Ash, they have a lot going on. And I won't hear from him for a few days. And I'll just reach out and be like, hey, how you doing? Checking in on you. And I try to make sure that if I'm not seeing posts on Facebook or, like, if I don't hear from somebody for a while, I'll check in on them, you know. But talking on the phone, really, I do believe is a lost art. Yeah, that's another thing. Like, especially like if I get a phone call, like, depending on the hour. So, like, I'll get a call like in the middle of the night. It's got to be an emergency, but it's not always. If you call me, I think it's an emergency. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's true. Yeah. So, yeah, that's the thing too. Like when the phone rings, it's like anymore. Like the phone does ring, and you see somebody you don't normally hear from. You're like, "Is everything okay?" And Risa, this is something that we've talked about. So you have to get together with Chris and Victor and make a live Keto Crusade, like all of us in the same place. We've talked about this, and I actually was trying to find I was trying to use Chat GPT. Funny story. I was trying to use Chat GPT to help me find a central location for all of us to meet up to where it's like the same distance for all of us. But it was like going haywire. It was like telling us to meet in Mississippi. That doesn't make any sense. Mississippi's hours and hours and hours away because I'm 5-ish hours from Chris and Victor's about 5.5 hours from Chris. So realistically, I think it's gonna be us going to Chris, because if we start trying to like triangulate, like where do we go? Where it's like if we all have, if we could all just travel 4 hours, or if we all travel 5 hours, so it's equal for all of us. But then I think it would have to be. I think realistically, Chris's place does make the most sense. He's got a studio set up in his in up there, and like a little couch thing and like chairs, and we can all sit around and chat and would do a real, a real life. I think that would probably work out the best. We just got to do it to, we got to find the time where we can all go down there. I mean, it's a 5 hour drive for me, you know. I wasn't planning on going down in April. I wasn't planning on going out at point in April, but I decided to go. Then I got invited to that podcast, so I thought it was a good idea to try to take them up on that. So, oh yeah, this happens less and less now because people just talk on the phone less and less. It was a big thing early on with cell phones, especially when like earpieces really came into play when they first started coming up with like the Bluetooth earpieces. Now, what I do in public now is I try to keep earbuds with me at all time, because then I just keep earbuds in my ears, and that way I always have earbuds in. Like I try to always keep them in at the grocery store so people don't bother me. You know. John Gugahan, thank you so much for being here. Have a safe time. Have a safe trip. Enjoy your time. Hope to see you again soon, my friend. Sean says, hit the thumbs up, you people. And if you're watching over on Twitter, come on over and say hello over here. I know there's a chat function on Twitter, but I think it's hit or miss. If you come over to YouTube, it's so much easier. I don't even have subscribers only on. Risa says, I saw the lights too. All right, Evelyn has shared the spider video for Amy, so go check that out. After these messages, we'll be right back. Kitchen Witch Tanya says, smashed it. I love it. Rick says, return from the auto parts store with part number 26775. All right. All right, Amy, have a good one. Be safe. Air cap and valve. Have you seen the shirt seed oils suck? I have not seen that. Who makes it? Brian's off to the home show today. Have fun. Be safe. Good luck, my friend. I mean, you do have boomer energy there, Heath. You have hardcore boomer energy. I know you're roughly similar age to me, but you do have hardcore boomer vibes. You know what I'm saying? I feel it. Oh yeah, that happened. That happens sometimes when our daughter calls on her way home because she takes the back roads because she's terrified of the interstate, and I'm like, I don't understand. The interstate's so much better, faster, better for me. The back roads are scary. It's hard to fall off the interstate. You can fall off the back roads. There's like all kinds of slide off areas and stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it always drops out. Tanya says, I call my mom every Thursday on my way to deliver the strudels. Strudels! Oh, strudels always sound so good. And Risa says, my mother in law loved calling me every day while I was watching all my children. Would drive me nuts. She's been gone for 13 years now, and I miss being interrupted. Yeah. I remember my mom used to watch all of those stories. She watched Yeah, All My Children, General Hospital, Loving. I think it was called Loving, wasn't it? Whatever it was, I think it was the Channel 6 ones. Because there was like the Channel 13 ones, there was the Channel 8 ones. Like I think Channel 8 was like As the World Turns. Are those even still on? Like are soap operas still on? Let me look that up. I'm sure some of you guys will probably know, but as of March 30th, 2025, the surviving daytime soap operas on broadcast television are General Hospital, The Young and the Restless, and The Bold and the Beautiful. So two on CBS and one on ABC. And General Hospital, a long-running soap opera on ABC known for storylines and character development. Yeah, Days of Our Lives, Bold, the Beautiful, Young and the Restless. Uh, Days of Our Lives is on streaming now. I think there's even a streaming service for General Hospital because like how many episodes of General Hospital were there? 15,000 episodes of General Hospital. Are you serious? So, like, 15,000 hours of General Hospital. The show celebrated its 50th anniversary in 2013, and its 15,000th episode in 2022. It holds the record for most Daytime Emmy Awards for Outstanding Drama Series with 14 wins. Oh my goodness. Oh man. Can you even stream all 15,000 episodes? I guess you can watch General Hospital on Hulu, but I don't know, do they have like all of the episodes? Cuz that's a lot. Like that would take up like all their bandwidth and I know they came started in the 50s, so they'd be in black and white. Oh my goodness, that's a lot. That's crazy. That's crazy. Over 15,000 episodes because they're on every day, 5 days a week. I don't think they take winter, summer, Christmas breaks. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Andy says, my mom has a flip phone, so we never text. I got to where I could text with my pocket. I could text with my thumb, with my phone in my pocket, with my razor. I had two different razors. I had the black razor when it came out, like with AT&T, and it was like back in black. I had the black one that cost me like $300 out of pocket. Crazy amount of money for the time. Now I pay like $1,400 for a cell phone, and it's nothing. You know? Yeah. Stacy says today's topic. I'm guilty of stating that some people represent keto the same way the keto packages of crap and the stores are keto. Do you care to elaborate on that, Stacy? I think there's and I'm guilty of that too. You know what I mean? But I try to make sure that people understand that there's going to be extremely dirty keto. Like if you're keto and eating just grocery store stuff, I mean, one, I think it's becoming harder and harder because I think really the only keto branded things left in the grocery store that I've seen that are legitimately like processed foods, branded keto are the breads, the tortillas, and cereals. Like they used to have, like at Walmart, they had a couple different soups that were keto soups. Those have gone. I know I think that you may still be able to buy them at Meyer because I tried searching for those because I liked the tomato. Was it the cleanest? No. But was it simple and easy to use and it wasn't terrible? Sure. And I think that's one thing that we have to look at as well because a friend of mine reached out to me and she's looking to start herself and her oldest daughter on keto. She has three other kids. And I was saying to her, okay, if you and she are going to do keto, I would suggest strongly that you just bring the other kids along too. Because if you don't, you're going to have issues where the other three kids are eating the food that your oldest daughter wants to eat, but can't. And she's going to be jealous and resentful that her siblings get to do what she doesn't. No matter how much she's on board, excuse me, no matter how much she's on board, no matter how good she feels, just like with us, our son and bonus kid live here, and there's always things in the house. There's like the cup of soups, like the ramen cup of ramen soups are in here, and the mac and cheese bowls, and there's like basically they've taken over one of our freezers in the garage, and there's like all kinds of stuff. And am I guilty of getting into some of that sometimes? Yes. Am I proud of that? No. But the fact that it's there and I feel like it kind of calls to me, and it is so it's I can't say it's 100%, but it's the percentage is high of not cheating when there's nothing in the house that you can eat is so much easier than I mean it just becomes exponentially harder when there's somebody in the house bringing that type of food in the house, and they're adults. We can't very well tell them, hey, you can't have this in the house. But at the same time, it's difficult for me to be as strong as I should be 100% of the time. Like I opened the freezer the other day in the garage, and there were some I didn't even know existed. There were these um, Rice Krispie treat ice cream sandwiches. So like it was two Rice Krispie treats with chocolate ice cream in the middle. I ate one. Actually, ate two, and it wasn't even good. Like the first one wasn't even that great, but I still ate the other one. Should I? No, I shouldn't have. But I'm weak sometimes. I'm human. And knowing that and it's better if I don't go out there and I don't but sometimes I have to use that freezer too because I'll buy stuff like I went to Costco the other day and I bought two different big packs of chicken. I bought chicken like the chicken, the tender, whatever, like like when you're breaking apart a chicken and you take the breast meat up, the tenderloin is down below the breast. So when you're pulling that up, then they sell the tenderloin as well. And I buy the tenderloins because that works well for like cooking up stuff for Chandra's lunches. Then I'll get the chicken thighs and I'll fry those up and put them in her lunches. Then I will buy I have chicken breast in the freezer as well because the young one likes those because she doesn't obviously kids are a little harder to please when it comes to like the fatty foods and things like that. But But yeah, like having that stuff in the house is difficult. So that's one of the reason I was telling her, I was like, that's what you may want to look at is making sure that everybody's on board. It'll be a struggle at first, but I think in the long run it'll be better off. That way all that stuff isn't in the house. There's not cereal, mac and cheese, ramen, chicken nuggets, all those things. And if she because I mean she's doesn't have a lot of time. Four kids, she's got a job, she's going to school, she's trying to do all this stuff. She doesn't really have time to meal prep. So I think those keto friendly foods, keto bread and keto tortillas are probably going to come in clutch for her just out of necessity. And I don't think and again, that kind of comes down to gatekeeping and shaming and things because I think that'll work for her because obviously their kids, are they the best for you? No. But if you are, in a situation like she is, trying to do, keto and all that stuff for her kids, there's going to be times where she just needs that because I mean, where's the time to meal prep? I mean, even if you have the time, sometimes you may have the time, but do you have the energy to do it? So, I mean, these are obviously questions that I have, you know. Evelyn says, I'm of the opinion if my phone goes off before 6 a.m., school better be delayed or canceled. I feel ya. Lisa says, I don't own earbuds. I need to invest in a pair. I have a few different pairs, and you don't have to spend a lot of money on them. I like the Anchor. There's an Anchor brand. Anchor, I like those. They have like 10 plus hour battery life and just the buds themselves, and then like 3 or 4 charges in the case. I think that's pretty cool. I know our kids go through so many of those all the way, like so many. Heath says only 10 likes. Help your boy out. I see 8. Let me refresh and see what we've got going on here. 95 of you watching across 2 platforms, 36 watching on YouTube, and 59 watching over on X. Let's go. If you're watching on X, say something. Come over here, hang out, join the conversation. I see 29 likes. That's not so bad. And Sean says, I like the fact, or I love the fact that the thumbs up is a lefty thumb. I'm left handed. Left-handed love. We don't get much of it. It's so easy to recognize when we get it. I'm right-handed because my grandfather saw to it that I was right-handed. I guess when I was a kid, I was coloring with both hands, and he switched it to my right hand. And I mean, it is what it is. I don't think that's as big of an issue as it used to be. Yeah, so I was buying. I bought some of the beef tallow. They finally got it in at my Costco, and I bought some. And I wish it wasn't so expensive. Like two 14-ounce jars for $20. It's kind of a lot. But I got it, I mean, I'll use it sparingly or whatever. I still use a lot more lard. And somebody was talking about like, lard and stuff, and there's like, you buy it from the store and it's hydrogenated or whatever. And I'm like, it's still lard, it's not seed oils. Is it the best? No. You know what I mean? I'm just kind of one of those things, like, yeah. But somebody at Costco asked me, he's like, what is that? I'm like, it's beef tallow. Like, what is beef tallow? I'm like, it's beef fat. Like, like there's butter, which is milk fat, there's beef fat, there's lard, which is pig fat, and suet is chicken fat, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember. I can't remember if there's what chicken fat's called. I think it's called suet, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember everything. Kitchen Witch says, an old soul living in a new world. Yes. And Evelyn says, I saw it in a video for tallow. Easy to make with a cricket. Okay. Uh-oh. The lefties unite. Them and their special scissors. Lisa says, I haven't had strudel in so long I forgot how they taste. I remember, like, I remember. He says Channel 8 here is HTX is PBS. Well, I mean, okay, so I know, like, Channel 8 here was CBS, and then, like, ABC used to be Channel 6, but now it's Channel 4. So it's just one of the things, Channel 13 for us was NBC, then Fox 59, you know. Lisa loved Days of Our Lives back in the day. Yeah. Four of them still exist. Days is still on Peacock. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. Tanya says, I just make hundreds of them, but I don't eat them. Risa says, soaps are still on. General Hospital, Young and the Restless, Bold and the Beautiful, Days of Our Lives. Now, I'm sure there's plenty of new ones. I still watch General Hospital. Been watching since 1978. I record it and watch it at 10 p.m. Yeah, lefty fist bump. Yeah. Stacy says 50 years ago, my grandma and I would watch Days of Our Lives while on the phone, sometimes even long distance. Great memories from my grandma. Yeah. Yeah. Santa Barbara, Days of Our Lives. I've kind of want to go back and watch like Falcon Crest and all those like those shows that my mom used to watch. I remember I started watching I was starting to watch Miami Vice, trying to watch the old shows. They're just I mean sometimes they can really get into them. Like we went and rewatched well I didn't I watched for the first time Northern Exposure. Rick says my mom watched Days of Our Lives, Another World, and Edge of Night. Okay. Karen says, "Give Rachel a big hug for me." I will. I will be sure to do that. Bonita is here and Karen is here. Good morning, Karen. Good morning, Bonita. And Rick says, try texting while welding and operating a bobcat. Well, you do you, boo. Yeah, he says, the only soap opera I watch is pro wrestling. That is, I mean, it is a soap opera. I mean, it really is. It's just, I mean, it's a soap opera, just like Days of Our Lives. You know what I mean? I mean, tights and jumping off of ropes. WWF. Evelyn says, I remember being really sick as a school kid, and just when you got used to a soap opera, you were well enough to go back to school. Ugh, I hated them. They were so boring. Like, there was just something about like the set design and the way they talked to each other, the music. They were always talking in like restaurants and stuff like when nobody was in it, like empty restaurants. I'm like, this is the weird, like the weirdest kind of rooms, like fancy room. Like nobody lives this way. I don't know. Even as a kid, I'm like, this doesn't even make sense. I'm like, let's watch cartoons. At least you know cartoons are fake. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Tanya says, making remember now, I had the Nextel walkie-talkie phone for 7 years. Where are you at? Rock. Yeah, yeah. Those things were rough and tumble. The Nextel was bought by Sprint, and then everybody was doing the talk to text thing, and now everybody talks with their speakerphone on. You know how it goes. Acting is about as bad, Heath. Yes. Stacy says fresh eggs are coming to Elkhart. If you have empty cartons, we can sure use them. I have a ton of the 2 dozen cartons. Would you want some of those? I can give you. I usually keep enough of those to hold 10 dozen eggs. So I usually keep 5 of those. I can give you everything of those that I have. I kind of ran out of room on the top of our fridge, so I've thrown a couple of the other cartons away. But I can bring you all the 2 dozen ones because I'm sure people who are buying from you may not be buying just 1 dozen. They may be buying 2 dozen. So yeah, Evelyn can bring cartons. Tony Jacobs is in the house. Good morning, Tony. Thank you for being here. Truly appreciate you so very much. Paul McGrogan is in the house. Good morning, Paul. Hey, everyone, says Paul. And Tanya says, I used to be stuck on those Mission Zero Carb tortilla lies. I think, they have their place. But the thing is if you are doing net carbs, those are a very, very big disservice to yourself. I think if you're doing total carbs, they have a place. They have a much better place if you're doing total carbs and you have control of yourself. I have a hard time controlling those. So, like for me, I'm going to have two, three, four, five, maybe half a package. And if you're counting total carbs, you're off. You're off the rails. Duck food is still duck food, says Rick. And he had a fat Muscovy duck fly over when he were like, ha ha ha, can't catch me. Susan. Good morning, Susan. Says Susan finally woke up. I can turn up the volume and interact more. Oh, that's good. People saying LOL to Andy and hi to Susan. Yes. Karen's asking, has anyone tried the RX sugar sticks? I'm trying to switch out of my stevia flavored drinks and if the allulose really acts as a GLP-1 naturally. I don't know if I know about these, so let me look and see if I can find them. All right, so let's see here. It looks like if you guys are interested in these, I will post a link because they're on Amazon right now. You can get 30 sticks for less than $14. And it doesn't even look to be a subscribe. Subscribe and save 1348. I don't know if there's a non-disc whatever one. Let me look at the ingredients here. Ingredients: allulose, natural flavor, malic acid, citric acid. So total carbs 10 grams. So I'm guessing there's 10 grams of allulose in this. But that's not awful. Yeah, less allulose. So it is 10 grams of allulose. And this looks like 5 flavors. Here, let me see if I can bring this up for you guys. Let's see if I can bring this up to you guys here. Hmm. So if that's something you're interested in, just let me know. Let me know in the comments. We'll talk about it. I will put that in there. Let's see. She says good morning. I'm so glad. So glad that she's here. Sherry says, time for church. Gotta go. Looking forward to the rest of the replay. Hugs to all. Well, thank you, Sherry. Be safe. Have a great time. See you soon. People counting their things and how many things that they see. He says I'm right handed because it's the right way to be. This is my left hand, ladies and gentlemen. Say hello to my left hand. Lard is always better than seed oils. Even so, I'm like when I buy it in the stores, like the brands you find in the stores, they're usually hydrogenated. I don't know. It's got to still be better in my opinion. Kidney fat is suet. Okay. So schmaltz is that chicken fat? Okay. I eat chicken fat. I eat chicken fat. Schmaltz might be German thing. Okay, okay. Shelly King is in the house. Good morning. Hope everyone is doing well. Thank you for being here. Truly appreciate you, Shelly. Evelyn says rendered chicken fat is commonly known as schmaltz. Schmaltz is a Yiddish word for rendered chicken fat, a traditional cooking fat used in Jewish cuisine. I know a lot of times when I cook a lot of chicken in my lard, I end up with more chicken fat than lard after a while, and it becomes very yellow. Still delicious, you know. Shelly King, thank you so very much for becoming a member. I truly, truly appreciate that very much. I have been slacking in my updating of the member things and putting them in the putting them in the credits, but I will get on that today. Pinky square. Brenda says, my mother loved Days of Our Lives. I named my daughter Felicia from one of the characters. Yeah, see, all the channels had different numbers in different cities, which is weird to me. You know, we had Fox 59, ABC was 6, CBS was 8, NBC was 13. You know what I'm saying? You know how it goes. Evelyn says, suet is hard, white fat that surrounds kidneys and loins and beef and mutton. Okay, okay. Chris Cook in Nashville. Look at that. Good morning, my friends. How is everyone? Dustin, how's your beard hanging today? Pretty nice. Wish it wasn't so gray, but hey, what are you going to do? Risa says, I can't wait to see the photos and the videos of the meetup. Me too. Everyone's saying hello. Tony says, hope you're doing awesome, friend. I hope you're doing wonderful too. Hope you're listening to some good tunes lately. My tune listening has gone down. I need to get back into listening to music. I used to listen to music all day, every day. I just have not. But I imagine that may go up if I get a job where I can have headphones in. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Carnivore Sisters in the house. Good morning, all. Thank you so much for being here. Truly appreciate you very, very much. I'm glad to see that you are here. People saying hello, hello to everybody. He's having a stroke trying to say turtle power. They're the world's most fearsome fighting team. Turtle power. Yes. Ash says hello to everyone. Is taking the dog out, so don't put anyone in timeout. Okay, that's very good. Yeah, we don't want anybody in timeout. Julie in the Pines says good morning, Dustin. Good morning, everyone. It is going to be a beautiful day here in Prescott, Arizona. It's a rainy, kind of dreary day here, which I am kind of looking forward to. I kind of like those days. Uh, And Chris says, "Hi, Cindy. Great job with Lewis Stone on the live. That was a great live." Andy says, "Hey, Chris. The tortilla maker came in from Amazon last night. I'll be making tortillas later today." Look at you guys. Find a new things. So any size cartons, perfect. I'll bring you all of the 2 dozen ones that I have left over. So look, when I buy eggs from Costco, they come in the plastic 2 dozen containers. So there's that. Oh, let's see. Keith said he used to use a Nextel when he worked quality control for a cabinet company. We had a couple of builders. They would be, yeah, 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 yeah. I appreciate you, Tony. Thank you so very much. I appreciate that so much. I really do. And I hope it never ever comes off like this is huge for me. So like you guys being here, there's 100 people watching across 2 platforms. I'm streaming to Facebook, YouTube, and X. Obviously, people watching from YouTube is the most beneficial to me. Most people don't watch on YouTube on Facebook. I'm thinking about maybe next week starting to stream to the R platform. I know that's a streaming platform and people watch over there, trying to gather as many people as I can from all places. Um, a lot of people watch from X, but they don't really interact. I just don't know. May not be the easiest thing. 63 people watching over on X. That's amazing. Let's see. Let's see. Everybody hit the thumbs up. Chris said it. You got to do it. If you don't, you're in trouble. Everybody hit the thumbs up for the beard. Sherry says, I was born left handed, but I broke my wrist and they made me switch and never let me go back. I can do many things with both hands. Good to know. I do a lot with my left hand. It's just writing is different. I can't write with my left hand. Okay. So Nick Norwitz has a discount on RX because he's involved in the company. That's good to know too. I don't know like what they're charging on their website. I know like I was looking here. Let me go back and look at some of this because I was looking before I went to before I hit the Amazon button. So it's $13 for 30 sticks. It's Kroger has 30 pack for $11. That's curated wellness. So that's not no. So curated wellness. There's $16 at Target. Gotta be careful because some of these are bars. Okay, so that's a bar. Or no, it's not. Yeah, that was, okay. There's vanilla cream, Swelfie snacks. Yeah, so I mean, you can buy them at Amazon, or you can. Looks like you can get them at the stores as well. How much is Walmart has them for $16. So it looks like if you're looking to save money and you're willing to wait a couple days, then Amazon's your best bet. I'll post that on Amazon. Because that's not even an Amazon link. I mean, I make a few pennies. So you know. JJ's in the house. Good morning, JJ. I saw that you were donating blood yesterday or sometime this week. I never know. When I see Facebook, it could be 2 weeks ago. So I did see on Facebook that you were donating blood. Congratulations. And Andy is asking Chris, did the allulose in your coffee help you? I'm sure we'll see a response somewhere down the line for that. And Reese is talking about the fact that she tasted the RX sugar sticks. They use them like pixie sticks occasionally. I think they are sold as a snack, not as a sugar substitute. They're just like a beverage, kind of like a Crystal Light type thing, I guess. Lewis Stone says, "Good morning. Y'all wake up too early for this West Coaster." Well, I appreciate you being awake and here and joining us anyway. I do get up awful early, so it's just one of those things. That's why I do this. I'm up at 6 a.m. on a Sunday morning, and I was watching YouTube, drinking coffee by myself, and I'm kind of a social person, so I figured, why not go live? I figure one or two people will show up, and there's 103 of you watching right now. That's insane. That is crazy to think of. That actually boggles my mind. Why are there 103 of you watching me right now? That doesn't make any sense. Let's see. Chris said, "Hey Andy, yes, the allulose in my coffee actually helped me break a weight stall. Fantastic. I'm not a sweetener person in my coffee, but maybe I'll pick up some of those RX sweetener packs and see like the flavoring and see how Chandra likes that. And see if that helps her." Karen says Bim Bickman puts his stamp of approval on them. I know a lot of people are liking they're liking the allulose right now. I made so in my videos there is a Kool-Aid video where I make Kool-Aid with allulose. And if you know anything about Kool-Aid, like you make a packet of Kool-Aid in the pitcher of into a pitcher of water, you're adding like a cup or 2 cups of sugar. So I just replaced it with allulose. And maybe it was something that I needed to, slowly incorporate into my life. I hadn't really had allulose before like that. I drank a couple of cups because I drink some on camera, and it wasn't even that sweet. It wasn't like overly sweet. It was just like mildly sweet Kool-Aid. Because if you can find certain flavors of Kool-Aid brand packets that are not sweetened, that don't have maltodextrin in them. They do have citric acid and such like that. If that's something that concerns you, but you can find the packets that do not have maltodextrin. And I have a few of those packets in the cabinet, and I made some with allulose. I made a video about it. I put it out there, and I finished recording the video because I made it, put it in the fridge, pulled it out, drank it, liked it, finished the review, and then it hit me. I had to make an amendum to amendum. I had to put a little bit of a extra bit of footage into that video talking about be mindful because it can send you to the bathroom pretty quick. And maybe it was because I had a lot more allulose than you're gonna have. This is like, you know each of these packets is like 10 grams. That's a lot less than I had, but you never know. So be mindful. Be mindful. Okay, Chris is even saying the same thing here. He's like, also you have to be careful because too much allulose will upset my gut really bad. So maybe you had some of the same symptoms that I did. You were having a photo finish in the bathroom. You know, too much salty made my bathroom runs last night more frequent. I know the feeling, but I think with salty though, I think that's some of the there's ish there. You've got like the magnesium involved. That kind of stuff too. Grape is in high demand, and it doesn't seem like anybody is really coming to the forefront because I've tried the grape flavor of the let me see. Let's see who makes a grape one here. Ultima has a grape. Liquid IV has a grape, but it's not sugar free. Great Value has a mixed berry. There's a Just Ingredients grape electrolytes. Let's see what that is. There's also, well, Kroger looks like they have an electrolyte zero sugar 6 pack. I'm gonna see that. Let's see this. All right, I'm back there. That's fine. I was trying to show my screen, but it disappeared. I'm not sure what happened. My apologies, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm looking at this. It's called only real food ingredients. It's just ingredients, but it's not a good. It's not a good one. Not a good one. I was hoping there would be a good grape one here, but so far we're still waiting on salty, and I still don't understand. If you don't like grape, why do you care if they make a grape? Not like they're gonna take away your flavor that you like to give me grape. Why can't we have grape? Like, I don't like grapes. You can't have it either. That's just mean. Andy says more n equals 1 for me then. Oh, the box says mix with 3 to 5 ounces of water or just swallow. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Okay. Okay, let's see. Carl's here. Thank you for being here, Carl. I know you probably weren't very, very far away, but it's like you were sleeping in. That's okay. Okay, so I guess if I'm trying to show something, if I'm trying to show, I gotta figure out how to make it still have sound. Okay. Ugh. All right. I got things to learn. I apologize, guys. I could use a fan in here because it gets a little stuffy in this room. Because I had a fan in here at one point. I need to get like a little desk fan that just hopefully doesn't make much noise. I need a quiet desk fan. Let me see. Can I look at Amazon and find a quiet desk fan? It's like a little bit of air would be nice. Something that doesn't cost a tons and tons of money. Here we go. This comes in a 2-pack. I'll just get one. All right. I got me a nice little desk fan to blow. Thanks for that. Thank you for that. Maybe blow my beard a little bit. I got a spot right here for it. You can't see it, but I can. I mean, I have a cooling fan that my laptop sits on. Lewis says I call my gray hair highlights. I agree. I agree. JJ says I learned to write with my left hand one year when I had a group of students that my eye could not be off for even a few seconds to write on the board. That's crazy. Like, come on, kids. What's going on here? That's just insanity to me. You had to be that careful. Julie's asking, do you get credit for it if we watch it on both YouTube? I mean, Facebook doesn't really do me much good. I just put it up there, and I mean, I'm thinking about not even doing it to Facebook anymore because Facebook's only going to start keeping them for 30 days anyway. YouTube keeps them forever. And I'm thinking about moving over and starting to stream to Rumble. Um, Rumble's another platform. Like Dr. Barry streams over there and that kind of stuff. So it might be more beneficial for me to stream there than to Facebook. I just don't get anything from Facebook. I don't really make any money. I don't make any money from Facebook. Facebook's kind of, they want you to be there, but they're not really giving you the tools to do it. I don't know. It doesn't make sense. So I might start streaming to Rumble just to see if I can get some people to come over to YouTube. But I think a lot of people that are on Rumble aren't over there to because they want to get away from YouTube. So we'll see. I just got to figure out how to do that because it's not as easy as plug and play with Rumble. I got to do like a stream key and all that stuff. I got to figure out how to do all that fun stuff. So JJ says, funny how Facebook throws something as random as from a few days before. I love donating blood. More than one way to save a life. Yeah. Yeah, it's like I'll see things like people like I have friends who live from out of town. They're in town. Like, who's hanging out tonight? And I'll see it 6 days later. I'm like, well, that's fun. Thank you. There's supposed to be a new friends tab, but I don't know how that's going to work out. We'll have to wait and see. Brenda says, I'm always so busy on Sundays prepping for the week. I enjoy lurking on your early mornings. So I appreciate that. Karen doesn't like grape anything. I feel that. I mean, I grew up and grape was a flavor that I grew up with. Grape Dimetapp, um, grapefruit burple, grape soda. Like it's even hard to find a decent grape soda, like whether it's aspartame or Zevia. Like Zevia, I could find, but I don't like Zevia. Zevia is disgusting to me. And yeah, the ultimate refresher has great flavor, but it's not a strong. It's not very good. I'm not a big fan of it. Stacy says Ken likes the grape Celsius. Yuck to me to fake grape. I like there is a energy drink. It's a Welch's grape. I think it's made by Ghost, Ghost or C. I think C. It might be Ghost. I think Ghost makes it. The Welch's grape. It's pretty. That's really good, but I gotta be careful. I can just chug that right down and be done. Chug, chug, chug. Dangerous, dangerous, dangerous. That's why something like a salty, if they can do it right, I could really put my stamp of approval on that, and I would promote the ever living out of that for real. Risa says I added clean slate salty to grape Celsius the other day, and it was the bomb.com. Yeah, when I show my screen, it doesn't have any sound. I got to figure out how to do that. I'm sorry. I apologize, everybody. Everybody's telling me that I disappeared, it disappeared, it disappeared. Technical difficulties. Please stand by. Thank you, Rick. I appreciate that. Lisa, I hope you enjoy your rest of your day. Have a great one. See you again real soon. I'm back. Yes, Caleb, I am playing peekaboo. Look. There he is. Thank you for joining us, Caleb. I appreciate you very much. People saying hello to Caleb, and Caleb saying hello to people. Reese is saying, be careful with RX sugar. Swealthy stick, one pack is 10 total carbs, but no sugar. It's the allulose. It's 10 grams of allulose. And people say that allulose really doesn't impact them. So I would take a look. I mean, yeah, if you're doing total carbs, but even I think Joe and Rachel talk about they do total carbs, but they don't count allulose carbs. if I'm not mistaken. I'm not trying to put words in their mouth, but I want to say I've heard them say that very thing. Sean says, all for a grape salty, if they can have a grapefruit, they can get rid of the fruit and just have grape. Need to think of a clever name for it. Grape greatness. Greatness grape. Just salty purple. But it'll be clear. It won't even be purple. It'll be ironic. Don't you think? Caleb says, I'm trying to grow a beard like you, Dustin. Well, I wish you luck, my friend. I hope you grow one better than mine. I hope you have a nice, thick, full, massive, just manly beard. I hope you have it. I hope it works out for you. Oh, I can't wait to see that. That's going to be awesome. Doesn't show up on camera yet. Oh, it's red. Oh, goodness. Uncle Big Guy's in the house. Hello, just woke up on the fly, but wanted to check in. Well, I appreciate you, Uncle Big Guy. Thank you for being here, my friend. I hope you're having a good time and hope your day brings you all the things you want it to bring to you. Risa says Zevia makes an excellent grape soda. I love it. I just can't handle grape. I've tried all the flavors. Maybe I grape, grape Fanta. I haven't seen the zero sugar grape Fanta. Because don't you wanna Fanta? Yeah. Let's see. Caleb's asking, what's the difference between Zevia and Stevia? Zevia is a brand of soda that uses stevia. So Zevia is a brand of soda that is made with stevia instead of aspartame. And I think it's got other cleaner ingredients. Like if you get the ginger ale, it tastes like actual ginger and not like ginger ale, which tastes like a mix of Sprite and Coke, you know? At least that's how I see it. That's how I see it. Those the differences to me. Do they make grape knee? I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what you're talking about. I had to look that up. Let me see. What is a knee high? Maybe I've heard of that before. Maybe I have heard of that. Okay, yeah, grape soda, a 12-ounce bottle, 6 count, in a safe ship box is $30. Do they make a zero sugar knee high? It is a soda that was introduced in 1924. Okay. I don't know if they make a. Oh, let's see. What is this? So 5% grape soda. What is this? This is Ohio. So, okay. I don't know what that is. Okay. Oh, okay. There's a grape soda you can buy in Ohio. It's a 12-ounce 4 pack that is THC, 5 milligram grape soda. 4 pack for $13. That's crazy. That's insane. That sounds dangerous, but it's not sugar free. Yeah, we're getting the information out there to y'alls. Okay, so I'm not the only one that's okay. So Rachel's, yeah, they've heard Rachel say that too. Risa says, by the way, I think they should get rid of the grapefruit and so I don't want them to get rid of a flavor to add grape because Chandra loves grapefruit. So I don't want to get rid of grapefruit. for grape. I just want them to add grape. Yeah. Grape ape and says Carl. And Sean used to watch the cartoon when he was a kid. And Caleb says something interesting here. Um, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that stevia is illegal in Europe because there were studies done saying causes blood clots. I don't know about that. I do know that if Jay's still here, Australian Jay, I know that there are issues with you in your country getting allulose. Now that may not be a thing still, but I do know that there was an issue with people living down under trying to get allulose. Let me look this up real quick and let's see. Let's see. No, stevia is not banned in Europe. It was approved as a food additive in the European Union in 2011. Widely used. It's not banned. Stevia is not banned. Let's see. Let's see. Are there sweeteners banned in Europe? Let's see. While many sweeteners are permitted in Europe after undergoing rigorous safety assessments, some sweeteners are banned or restricted in specific contexts, such as in certain foods or certain populations. Let's see. I know like allulose is not approved for use in Canada or Europe. It is considered a novel food. That's pretty weird. Um, I also know that aspartame is not good for hot beverages. So yeah. So allulose still isn't approved for Canada or Europe, and also not approved in Australia, from my understanding. So that's pretty strange. I see was a grape soda that I used to love. Yeah. Chris says Nuru is an old school soda. Yeah, I figured that. Yeah, it's hard to find. Yeah, most of that's like Grape Bet. Used to be able to buy Grape Bet at Walmart, but now they don't sell that stuff anymore. They pared back. It seems like the problem a lot of times with studies that prove or disprove something as a carcinogen is the fact that they're using usually a rat model, and they're giving them like enough of that ingredient. It would be like with aspartame. There was rat models that was like us drinking 4 cases a day, every day. So it's kinda hard to see how is that going to translate to the human model by the test that they do in a rat model. Now, obviously, we can't do a lot of those testings in the human model because it doesn't make sense. So we have to kinda base it on the rat models, but you have to take that with a grain of salt too, because, I mean, if you're giving a rat aspartame and you're giving them enough that with us drinking like 4 cases a day, 4 packs a day, that's crazy. We're never most the average person is never going to drink that much. Yeah, Radar used to drink knee high on MASH. That was a depressing show. Like we started to watch, I was like, it was just the whole aspect of that show. Like the theme song was depressing. It was about war and injuries. It was just like, okay. And I know when it came out, it was probably necessary, but like, oh, it's not how I want to spend my night watching that show. Brian says the same thing. Tanya, Kitchen Witch, thank you. You don't have to do that. Says time well spent with friends. Grateful for this place. A $10 super chat. Thank you so very much. It's greatly, greatly, greatly appreciated. So very much. Caleb says, I ain't buying nothing from Ohio. I'm not against it. If it's legal, it's legal. I'm not against it. And if it's something you enjoy, I'm not gatekeeping that either. I'm not shaming people for that kind of stuff. It's just like alcohol. Some people can handle it. Some people can moderate it. Some people can't. Some people go way off the deep end. So I think, if that's something that you can enjoy, like for me, it's a hard thing for me to do. Like I don't do it very often. Sometimes like if I'm in Colorado, we'll get some or whatever, but I don't really see it as something that I do all the time. I have to make the time for it because I basically shut down. So I have to make the time and basically clear time and account like a whole day to be able to do something like that. So that's got to be a planned event for me. So I'm not against it and I think it should be legal. And I know there's a lot of people who will disagree with me on that, but I don't know if this is not necessarily the place to necessarily argue that or discuss that, but I'm just like if it's legal, who cares? Alcohol is legal and it does way more damage to you. So, you know. Evelyn, thank you so much. I saw that. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you so much, Evelyn, too. G-Man is here. What's up, G-Man? Oh yeah. Mondo Melon. It's okay. Yeah. She just doesn't like much stuff. Like it makes my job kind of easier but difficult at the same time because there are sometimes I'm making two different dishes. Because I'll make basically the core thing will be the same, but I like it a little different. Like I may add some cream to it, and she don't want that. She doesn't like sauces for the most part. Like the only sauces she really likes are maybe some teriyaki sauce, some barbecue sauce. She likes the chili garlic paste stuff, but she doesn't like sriracha, which is weird. It's basically the same stuff. Yeah, Caleb says Ohio thing is a joke of my generation. Yeah. I'm sure it was probably early on before I ever heard of what stevia was. He says, "Whoa, I just noticed our HH table placard in the background. Thanks, bro." Yeah, for sure, for sure. I got my Ninja Turtle little thing back there. I got the painting my buddy made for me. I've got the little the coaster that Cindy made for me. I got the little lamp that Sean got for me at Disney. I don't know. There's something sus about Ohio. I'll give you that. Yeah, there's something about erythritol can maybe cause some issues. You know, I don't even know necessarily how true I think that is. I think that's kind of one of those like keto crotch type things. I don't know. I don't know for sure. Just me, Marla is here. You said MASH was the OG ER, but ER wasn't like sad and depressing feeling. I don't know. That's just the way that MASH comes off to me. Maybe I just didn't want because like for me, like it was always coming on when I was going to bed, and it was like do 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 do. I'm like, oh, I'm going to bed. It's sad, I don't know. I don't know. Evelyn had a Diet Coke for her birthday. Well, that's fantastic because Diet Coke is gross. But if you like it, I'm happy for you because Chandra loves her Diet Coke. And I'll get her some from time to time. Caleb says, I can handle alcohol. It just tastes gross. Well, the problem is when you find something that doesn't taste gross, and then you're just like, oh, well, I'm drunk. Heath you're a sleepy everything, Heath. Let's be real. I'm a sleepy drunk. It's really not good for MS, so basically you have to give it up entirely. Yeah. Karen says, I had a New York strip and coleslaw, first veggies had in a year. I'm not a fan of coleslaw. Andy says MASH was my favorite. Me and my daddy's been gone since 2012. Yeah, my mom's been gone since 2013. I know we used to watch different stuff. We used to watch. My mom and I would watch like Roseanne and stuff. MASH the TV show is based on MASH the movie, which was an anti-war. I mean, it's all pretty much anti-war. No one's pro-war when they're showing all the casualties and the injuries and all that stuff. It's a very depressing concept, really. I mean, think about Hogan's Heroes. How depressing is that? You know, there was something else I wanted to touch on. Let me see if I can pull that up real quick. Now I know I can't share my screen and have you guys hear me too. That's rude. But let me see. There was let's see. All right. So this is a Sun article, the UK edition. Okay. And I have to look this up too because, shocker, I lost 4 stone. So this lady lost 4 stone. I got to look up and see how much a stone is. 14 pounds. Okay. So they lost 4 stone by moving to a 5,000 calorie diet, but was shocked when the nurse told me she hopes I die. Oh my goodness. Oh, so this is a Sun article again. I lost 4 stone with a 5,000 calorie diet, but was shocked when the nurse told me she hopes I die of cancer as a result. So let's look into this article again. I can't share this too much with you. There's a picture of the lady, Ash. Her name is Rachel Ashby. She weighed in at 13 and a half stone at her heaviest. And then after trying the keto diet, she switched to the carnivore diet. And so there were huge improvements. There's another photo. She's lost a bunch of weight. She's looking pretty good. Eating the carnivore diet, says the carnivore diet eliminates all plant-based foods and focus on eating meat, fish, eggs, and small amounts of low lactose dairy foods. Let's see. It says during this time she suffered from bloating, brain fog, joint pain, dandruff, constant breakouts that left her unable to leave the house without makeup, dry skin, despite consuming what many would consider a healthy diet. Let's see if this tells me what she was eating before. Rachel Ashby, 40, was at her heaviest 5 years ago, weighing at 13 and a half stone and wearing a dress size 18. Let's see. Realizing something was wrong, she switched to the ketogenic diet, which lasted only 6 months because despite just eating meat, fat, and vegetables, Rachel was still struggling with the same symptoms she had before. She saw lots of improvements on the keto diet, but still struggled with bloating, brain fog, dry skin, joint pain, and excess weight. In April of 2019, she decided to try something new and switch to a fully carnivore diet, which works by eliminating all plant based foods and solely eating meat, fish, eggs, and small amounts of low lactose dairy. She ate up to 4 pounds of meat per day and 10 eggs in one sitting, with all plant based foods completely eliminated and for being unhealthy, a lifestyle choice deemed too carnivore based for extreme online trolls. Let's see. Despite consuming 5,000 calories a day, twice the recommended 2,000 calorie diet for a female in the UK, Rachel lost 4 stone, but was shocked to be told by a vegan ad pop up. My apologies. Let's see. By a vegan nurse, she hopes she dies of cancer for her meat eating choice. The health coach and CEO of Tallow Glow from Hertfordshire says, I get what I call hate mail from vegans. I've had a vegan nurse tell me, nurse wished cancer on me, told me that she hopes I end up in her care and she wouldn't help me. I had a vegan friend, someone who's very close to me when I started doing this and eating primarily meat. She says, good luck with your heart attack. And I understand that there's a lot of that. There's a lot of misinformation. There's a lot of that going on where people just truly don't understand the lifestyle. They don't understand that it is much healthier, or that it's not quite what they think or what they've been told. But the fact that somebody says they wouldn't help them, and Rachel's interest in the carnivore diet started when she stumbled across a doctor called Dr. Sean Baker. He was talking about anti-nutrients in vegetables and the side effects that some people have from consuming them, she said. He also regularly spoke about studies and data that backed up what he was saying. He would read stories of people that reverse their health issues by cutting out all plant foods, and also sometimes jokingly making fun of vegans. I think he does make fun of vegans a little bit more than he should, but there's also a little picture here of Courtney Luna here, but it's a video that I'm not going to play. I thought Dr. Baker and all the carnivores were absolutely mad, but it had planted a seed. I started to notice these side effects after eating vegetables. I had already cut out all sugar, processed food, and junk 6 months before while on the keto diet. The more I listened, the more I noticed the side effects, the negative side effects of all the plants I was consuming, like asparagus, cauliflower, broccoli, and so on. It was the day before my daughter's birthday in 2019 that I decided to give it a try. I actually thought I would disprove the diet as well, as I always thought that vegetables were so important, as we're all told. Grains, number one, eat 13 servings of grains a day. Eat your vegetables, a lot of fruit, and you're gonna be good. Limit your fat intake, limit your meat intake, and you'll be fine, they say. They've been telling us that for decades, and yet cardiovascular disease is on the rise. We have diabetes and obesity skyrocketing. Let's see. By day 3, I was convinced this is where good health is at. I felt a massive rush of energy. All remaining health issues were reversed very quickly. I lost 7 pounds in the first week, another 7 pounds the following week. I stopped worrying about scale after that. I was happy with what I saw in the mirror and felt every day, or how I felt every day. I was severely depressed with bad anxiety before I changed my diet. It felt like I had become agoraphobic. I would make lots of plans but cancel them. Let's see. I wouldn't go anywhere where I had to be bumped into. Somebody was ashamed of how I let myself go. I was literally existing, not living. Rachel is now in the best shape of her life, having lost weight and eliminated all her health issues. Now my meals consist of lamb, beef, chicken, rarely but sometimes pork, shared Rachel. I eat 10 eggs plus butter per sitting. I like my red meat pink in the middle, which is actually raw, but I like it warm with a good sear. Once Rachel made the shift, her health really started looking up, and she didn't have any side effects from switching her diet. Showing like peeled eggs, looks like beef and butter. Yeah, she's made quite the transformation. The carnivore diet can have side effects such as diarrhea, nausea, vomiting, constipation, headache, hydration issues from fluid loss, dizziness, fatigue, and insomnia. But Rachel claims that these are temporary side effects and the body adapts to using different energy sources. As a health and wellness coach, Rachel insists she is always looking after her body. She does receive some hate online for telling her carnivore story, mostly from vegans, but most people are just in shock that a diet consisting of just meat, eggs, butter can be healthy when medical professionals often speak only of the dangers of these foods. And here it says, read more on the pros and cons of the carnivore diet below. So, what do you guys think about that? I think it's very interesting that so many people are going to be so derogatory, right? It's pretty crazy. Caleb thinks he's funny. I don't know what young people are talking about. That's fine. Lewis Sones says the theme song to Mash is called yeah is painless. So yeah, that's probably a big reason. Yeah, 56 pounds. That's 14. Is that dude? That's what 14 stone or 4 stone. This stone is 187 pounds. Evelyn says there's a burger place by us that we can double the meat, making a 1 pound burger. That's what I had for dinner and added a fried egg. They forgot our bacon though. Oh my goodness, how rude. Rick says, "Oh great, power went out for a little while. It'll probably go out again. We've had 2 days of snow and ice. Oh, that's really rough." Yeah, so many great quotes from Mash. I'm an atheist. Oh really? Yeah, swear to God. Stacy is asking Evil Lynn where the burger place is. It's called Beckett's Burger Bar. It's where the old Finn seafood was. Gotta feel the love. Uncle Big Guy says at college the TV room was full every time MASH was on and completely empty when it was over. Even the nights when the show was on 4 times, like Hogan's Heroes as well. Well, thank you for being here, my friend. Hope you have a great rest of your day, sir. People are sending emojis to each other. I can't see what those are right off my thing. It looks like their hands. Okay. Caleb says, I weigh 13.9286 stone. Good luck figuring that out. Just 13.9286 times 14. Sorry, getting text messages here from the Bears. All right. They are en route. They're in Iowa, it sounds like. Or on their way to Iowa. 195 pounds. Yep. Chris hit the nail on the head. It's like the approach of many seems to be we all deserve to believe what we wish, so long as you agree with me, or else I wish your demise. That's the craziest thing that I see. Um, that's just insanity to me. Like and I know that my friend's probably more likely joking than not, but still, it's just one of those things. Like, wow, you know. As my whole thing is, if you are doing something to better yourself, regardless of how crazy you think it is, that person is doing something. And that was my thing because like somebody said, talking about like, are you a carnivore, like steak and eggs carnivore? Are you a wrapped in bacon, deep fried, and pork panko and eating cheese carnivore? And I'm like, well, Dr. Barry says, that you can see a lot of amazing results with bologna and hot dogs. And they're like, oh, you got to have clean carbs and da-da-da. I mean, and I mean that's fine. These are a lot of bodybuilder guys, and I'm like, they're like, I'm like, you are jacked. That's cool. The fact that you are in that great of shape, that's awesome. But that mentality doesn't help somebody who is struggling with obesity, 400, 500 pounds, struggling with food addiction issues. How do we help these people? How do we help people who truly need the help? And I understand a lot of times these influencers, they're catering to the bodybuilder, dude bro crowds. And it seems to be a lot of like, that's a lot of that I see there. And yes, you're helping each other, but that mentality doesn't fly when you're trying to help others. Because I think that's what's so great about this community, Sunday mornings, Tuesday evenings, when we're all together. Like Tuesday evenings when we start off with Chris, go to me, and then go into Keto Chow, and even there's even other live streams like the Lioness live streams on Tuesday nights, and the keto cookouts on Tuesday nights. So I think there's so many things going on. There's so many of us trying to help everybody, trying to help each other, that it's just hard to imagine that somebody can be so narrow minded or just so short sighted that if you don't eat my way, you're going to fail. I mean, I tried all kinds of things trying to get to where I'm at now. And even though this lifestyle is the most sustainable that I've ever found, I still struggle. And I think that's important for me to tell you. That's why I do these. That's why I sit here every Sunday and talk with you and I go over what happened in my week. That's why I told you that I sit like our kids have this stuff in the house now and it's a struggle for me to avoid. I'm glad it's in the outside freezer and not the inside freezer where it's easier to get to. You have to go out in the garage and move stuff around to get to it. But I've still got in there and I've had two of those ice cream sandwiches that I shouldn't have had. The first one I was like, you know what? This is weird. I've never seen one. I'm gonna try it. I made the conscious choice to try it. And then the next time I did it, it's like, well, I know it's there. And I opened it up and there's just one left in the box. And I was like, I can throw the box away now. I made an excuse for myself. And that's difficult because I think we make daily strides to be better, but we're not perfect. I'm not perfect. And I hope that you don't expect me to be perfect. I'm going to do my best to be forthright and share all of my successes as well as me getting into the freezer and eating something that I shouldn't because the kids have it here. It's just the way that it is. And I would like it better if they didn't have it here. But unfortunately, it is what it is. And I can't tell them, I could be a total douche canoe and say, nope, you can't have this stuff in the house. But they're adults, they live here. I can't rightfully do that. I mean, I could, but then what's our living environment going to be like? Is there being that animosity, that thick drama worth me having something occasionally that I shouldn't have? I don't think so. I know, but we've done so well over the years, and I don't know how long our kids are going to be here. And it would be nice if they ate cleaner and better. And if I would make giant batches of food that we eat just to make sure that they would eat the same stuff if they wanted to. But I don't think that's going to be what it is. So I still have to learn to navigate that. And I'm going to fail. I'm going to win and I'm going to fail. Some days I'm going to succeed. And I am really struggling to get back to beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. And Shander, even last night, was saying how she wants us to get back to she does the beef, butter, chicken, and eggs because the pork just does not agree with her. So really, realistically, limiting out and not doing dairy and all that because I had made those. So anybody who saw the Instagram post that I made these ricotta cheese muffin things. So what they were is I make like this batter out of Parmesan cheese, eggs, and some heavy cream to get the consistency that I want. And I put that in the bottom of the muffin tin. and then I mix up eggs and ricotta and spices, and I mix that together, and I put that on top of the Parmesan mixture. The Parmesan mixture will bake into like a crust. Then the you add the egg into the ricotta because it'll firm it up some, but not overly. But it does give it a good texture. If you mix it really well, it becomes nice and smooth. And then I put cheese and such on top of that and baked in the oven. And you saw the picture. Relatively simple recipe, delicious. But on Tuesday, I was also talking about the recipe that I made. It was basically ricotta. I had some meatballs in mine and grilled chicken pieces for Chandra, where it was a mixture of ricotta cheese, the egg, heavy cream, and tomato paste. Then I mixed that with cheese, and I took that Parmesan egg base that I put in the bottom of the cupcakes, but I put that on top of the casserole. This is a casserole dish, and it was so delicious, so good that I couldn't stop eating it. It was I was difficulty. I was getting. It was a. I was having issues not eating till I got sick. Now I'm planning to make that into a recipe videos for you guys because I need to put some more recipe videos out there. Let me know in the comments if that's something you guys want to see. But I just look at it like those type of foods are good here and there, but I gotta for me, I just feel so much better doing triple B and E. But triple B and E isn't an all the time thing. Like I don't see it sustainable for a year. It's for a month or like a month. Like there's still gonna be some cheat days. You're gonna cheat with keto. You're gonna have some cheese sometimes. But the majority of the time, I feel better with triple B and E. But it's not so much of a challenge to where I feel like I can't have anything else or I feel like I've failed. To me, it's more along the lines of I'm doing it because I want to feel better. So, and Tanya's right here. So, we don't diet shame me and then I'll give you the same respect. Yeah, 100%. Steph is off to church. Well, thank you for being here, Stephanie. Truly, truly appreciate you. And he says they ordered 4 quarter-pound patties from McDonald's a la carte menu, and it cost $8. I thought it was a great deal for patties that I could eat in the car. That should have been that used to be like a dollar something, like $1.19 each. So it should have cost like $5. Shouldn't be 8. But everybody's kind of gotten into this whole thing, so that makes sense now. But yeah. Heath is going to take a nap. I feel you on that, my friend. Chris says, real people need actual help and support. Otherwise, how are we supposed to help change the world? Yelling and dogma doesn't work. That's right, it doesn't work. Shaming people doesn't work. Well, how do you do carnivore? Are you doing the carnivore the way I think you should do carnivore? If you're not, I'm going to laugh at you and say you're dumb. That doesn't help anybody. That's like going to your friend and they're obese saying, did you know you're fat? I didn't know. How did this happen? Most of us don't know how it happened, but we know that it happens. Yes, douche canoes. Yes. Karen says, I found out recently that I need to be careful with eggs. Oh, that would be so disappointing because I love eggs. Yeah, I mean it really is. I mean, and granted, I'll tell you the secret to the meatballs. I didn't make the meatballs myself. I bought a bag of Italian meatballs from the grocery store. They were 1 carb per meatball. They were meatballs about this big. So, were they the cleanest? No, but they sure were delicious. Bad, 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 bad. So I think if I make it again, I may make it without those meatballs, but we'll see. I think chicken would be good with it. And Cindy says every McDonald's is different and they're a la carte pricing. Even if they don't have one, some do and some, yeah, yeah, yeah. Brian says everyone needs to do what they or do it the way that works for them. We are not all the same. Look in a mirror. Yeah. And I think so my only argument to that is we're all different. I think we should all be focusing in on a basic proper human diet to start with. Okay? Whole foods. That's meat, fat, eggs, low carb, cruciferous vegetables. I mean, some people can have rice and it doesn't impact them. Some people can have some gluten and wheat sometimes and it doesn't bother them. Some people can have green beans and whatever. But I think going the route of basically or keeping your diet as whole food based as you can, I think then you start to discover a lot of things about yourself. You start seeing, okay, well, how does my body react to this? How do I feel when I eat this? How do I feel when I eat that? I don't think everybody in the world needs to go carnivore. I don't think carnivore would be sustainable for everybody. It's just not. Keto isn't sustainable for everybody. Paleo probably isn't sustainable for everybody. I mean, we're probably looking at just trying to get back to more whole foods. I mean, there's going to be people who are going to eat potatoes. Just cut the potatoes up, boil them, whatever. Do I think that everybody needs to go super strict low carb and be in ketosis their entire life? Probably not. But I know that there's a lot of people out there struggling now, doing everything they can based on the recommendations that they're provided, and they're just not working for them. So I can't sit here and tell you, you need to do exactly as I do and you'll find success. The only thing I can do is come here, be here with you, share my experiences, provide a platform for you to share your experiences in the chat. We can talk about it. We can find our path. We can find what helps each individual person. Just like with um, Brian Doyle, we talked and talked numerous times for at length trying to help him, and he finally kind of started to figure it out. He had to eliminate all sweeteners, dairy, all these things. There were things that he was eating that were okay, basically, right? For a keto approved kind of diet, and he was still seeing difficulties. So it's just one of those things. We may not like what we need to do. You may not like to give up dairy. You may not like to give up sweeteners. I know that I don't feel good when I'm drinking soda. When I'm drinking diet soda with aspartame. I still have some in the garage. Sometimes I wonder, like my mental faculty is still with me because I'm doing things like that. You know, why would I continue to do something like that? Why would I continue to do something that doesn't make me feel good? Because I'm not that smart sometimes. Just like I give in to things that are in the freezer that I know shouldn't be there. But I think we all struggle with that. We all struggle with going to the grocery store, and it seems like there's been so many amazing looking products that have come out since I've been keto. Like things that I would have loved, I would have put in my cart every time I went to the grocery store. I love pretzels, like hard, crunchy pretzels. There's all kinds of flavored ones out there. Now there's bags of cinnamon and sugar ones. There's honey mustard ones. I'm still trying to get Pork and Good pork rinds to put out a hot mustard pork rind. Hashtag hot mustard. Come on, Pork and Good. Come on. You know? And like, or you want to say, something like salty. Salty needs grape. Salty needs grape, you know? And then, we all have our favorite keto chow flavors that they've discontinued that they may not bring back. I liked birthday cake, it's gone. I love butterscotch. I don't think it's gone. They don't have it right now. It's just one of those things. Ugh. Cindy says, "Everybody have a great day. I have to go get some stuff done here." Well, have a great day, Cindy. Truly love you being here. Love you. Long time. I wish we were seeing you on Tuesday, but I understand that you can't make it. But give our love to the guinea pig, and we'll see you real soon. And Brian says self experiments are one own correct way to eat keto carnivore. Yeah, one of the only ways. Yeah, I mean that's what we do. How I eat now isn't how I ate in 2016. I have started adding butter into my coffee again, and I know that's like one of those like, oh you dare! How do you have butter in your coffee? That's so 2016, 2017. It's delicious, and I've been like, okay. And they're like, I need to add more fat, more butter. I said, help with your belly. We'll see if it does. So delicious. Then I add heavy cream into it too. That's so good. It's like people who say, if you don't like coffee, you don't really like coffee if you're putting cream and sugar and all these things into your coffee. Really? That's like saying, I don't like pizza because I want to have pepperoni and sausage on it. Come on now. Everybody's saying goodbye. Yeah, Brian says you may have issues with some natural foods that don't bother others. Like I love potato sometimes. Sometimes we like Thai food and we get yellow curry and it's over rice. There's rice and there's potato and these super thin uh like round pieces of carrot. Do we have it all the time? No, but it's a nice treat to have. It's delicious. Yellow curry is fantastic. A little spicy. Mm. Coconut flavor in it. Oh, it's so good. But it's got rice and it's got all that stuff in it. We don't but I don't want to like to me that's something that's so good just the way that it is. I don't even go out of my way to make it not, to make a keto version. To me, it's just something that I'm like rice doesn't really make me feel bloated the next day. I don't it doesn't make me really gassy. I had some keto snacks last night that I had bought from Costco while I was doing triple B and E, the challenge portion of it. So I just been in the cabinet, and I had some, and that gave like instant gas. How many of you have these issues with like keto treats and keto branded items that just give you like instant gas? And it's bad. Like I was glad laying in bed last night that Shander was already asleep because I was gassing myself out. It was rough. It was so bad. I should have opened a window, but I don't even know if that would have helped. It was just bad. Just terrible, terrible gas. But if I'm not eating that stuff, I don't have that. Like every once in a while you have a toot and you're like, oh, I had a fart. Maybe you're not like me, but Scott Elliott says, I've been keto for 5 months. I hit my goal weight, my goal weight loss, but it keeps coming off. I need to change it up now. Do I add more carbs? I would say no. If you're eating enough food, your body will begin to kind of level itself out. Your body has a way of not getting too lean. So I would say eat more. Just eat more meat, eat more fat. I wouldn't add more carbs. I mean, depending on what you're doing, and I mean, some people do add a little bit of carbs. Like we know that Neely's been adding more carbs back into her diet, but that may not be what you want to do if you're feeling great. But I mean, your body kind of knows where its weight should be. Now, I mean, if you're only eating, I don't know how much you're eating or anything like that, but up your calorie. I mean, up your, I know calories aren't necessarily like the end all be all, but it's an easy way to kind of discuss quantities of food. So like up your, up, you have maybe have some extra steak, some extra eggs. I mean, I don't know if you're still like, I don't know, are you fully satiated? Because if you're fully satiated and you're not feeling hungry and you're not doing anything like that, I would say leave your weight where it is. I would say even if you lose some weight, because what your ideal weight and what your body thinks are made two different things. I don't necessarily think you'll get. I don't think the body doesn't like to get below a certain level of body fat without you forcing it to. So I wouldn't worry too much about it because goal weight and what your body wants you to be on, are two different things. That usually works the other way around, where you have a goal weight, say you want to get down to 175, but your body's happy at 200, and you're flipping upset because you want to get down to 175, but your body goes, I'm happy right where I'm at, 200 pounds, just fine. And you're like, no, I want to get down. Do you feel good at 200 pounds? You know what I mean? I don't know what your weight is, what your goal is, what you should be. I mean, are you lifting weights? Are you exercising? These are a lot of factors that come into play. Rick says to Scott, your body might rebound a bit. When I switched, I dropped 50 pounds and then put 10 pounds back on where I've been for over a year now. Yeah. And Brian says to Scott, your body knows best. What you think may not be correct for your body. Yeah, yeah. So I mean, like what your goal is may not be what your body wants it to be at, too. So Scott's 6'3" and 184 now. Yeah. So I mean, I would say if you start to get like scary, like start to lose too much. I mean, because you probably don't want to get below like 20% body fat. Maybe I don't know, like because I mean, some of the bodybuilders will get down to like 4% for a competition, which is unhealthily low. But I would, just add some more steak, some more eggs, whatever you're eating. Maybe I mean, if you want to add carbs, try it out. What all you got to do is not eat it again. How do you feel if you have veggies? You know what I mean? I don't know. It just depends on how you feel. Play around with it. Carnivore Sister says salt and butter in my coffee every morning. Well, I use salted butter. I don't salt my coffee, but I do use salted butter. I think salted butter, like, oh, you don't, that's perfect. It's a little salty, but not overbearing. I think if I were to salt it, it would probably get too salty. Victor is in the house. Southern Keto. Good morning, Victor, my friend. So glad you are here, my friend. Yes. Hope you slept well, my friend. Scott says, I feel I may not be eating enough. Eat more. I mean, but at the same time, how do you feel about it? Are you hungry? Do you feel satiated? There's just a lot of kind of like self-exploration. There's a lot of, self-realization, you know. And Rick says, I'm old enough to remember when that was an appropriate weight for someone your height. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I mean if you get down, if you just get to an uncomfortable weight, just eat more. You're hungry, eat. But I wouldn't necessarily focus too much on that. But that's where, all that fun stuff you can experiment. Add some carbs in maybe if you want to. I mean, in 5 months you got your goal weight. You weren't obviously in a bad situation. Not like someone like me, where I started over 420 pounds. So I've still got a long way to go. And I've been doing this 9 years, but still, the pandemic didn't help me. But you know how that goes. Yeah. And Scott says, Thanks. I will eat more. I'm just trying to navigate this challenge. I'm not, and that doesn't mean you have to like gorge yourself. You don't have to stuff yourself. Like for me, when I'm eating the way that I feel my best, my body just tells me, "Okay, we're done." I may even have like maybe just a bite or two left, and it's like, you know what, we're fine. And that's how I can tell kind of when I'm eating the right foods. Because when I'm eating the wrong stuff, if I'm eating like that casserole stuff that I made, the ricotta and the that stuff, my body goes, "We're done," and I'm like, "Nope, I'm not." It's like when my brain and my body argue. I think it's important that if I well, that's another reason I think where Triple B and E and I get along is my body and my appetite tend to agree. Now my mind will sometimes want things I haven't bought and brought in the house, and I'm looking for some kind of treat and I don't have anything because I didn't buy anything, then I'm mad at me for that. Now we've got the kids in the house and I'm like, they've got who know they may have bags of popcorn. So those are things I have to navigate. But if I'm doing things the best way for me, then I think my mind and my body get along and they're on the same page. So if my body goes, that's enough, and my mind goes, cool, I'm eating the right stuff. And that's coming from, a serious food addicted person. Finding that is so paramount. I never thought I would find it. And Scott says, "What's up, Victor? I'm eating your Parmesan crisp recipe right now. So delicious." And Rick says from Brook Acres, "Scott, listen to your body. There are times that one meal a day is good. Other times when I eat twice a day, depends on how I feel, what my body's telling me." And I'm the same way. Sometimes I'll eat at 8 o'clock in the morning, and other times I won't eat till 2 or 3 in the afternoon. It just depends. Sometimes I wake up and I'm just famished, and I'll eat. And sometimes I wake up and just coffee, and the idea of like anything other than coffee sounds awful. So you know, you know how it is. And Victor says, "Hey Scott, awesome! I just made those Friday." So I think I'm gonna dig in the freezer today, pull out some burger patties, scramble me some farm fresh eggs, have some burger patties. I've got bacon in a Ziploc bag in the freeze or in the fridge. I need to eat some of that. I've got bacon I need to cook up. It's gonna be a good day, ladies and gentlemen. But we're coming to the end of this morning. We're coming up on 3 hours, 3 glorious hours that I've got to spend with each and every one of you today. Fantastic. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you all for all of the super chats that you have provided for me today. Let's see. Christian DeLorme with $10, Cindy with 5, Christian with another 5, Shelly for becoming a member, and Kitchen Witch Tanya giving a $10 super chat. I truly, truly appreciate each and every one of you so very much. You all are so wonderful. You make this all so worth it. Scott says, "I'm doing your chaffle recipe after church today." And Risa says, "Good morning, Victor. Your Snickers bar look awesome. I may need to try those." Go over and check out Victor's channel if you were not familiar with it. Southern Keto. Go check it out. Victor says, "Sorry I couldn't get here earlier, Dustin, but it's my one day to sleep." I feel you. I every Sunday I'm like, why did I do this to myself? Why do I gotta go live at 7:30? Why can't I just go back to bed? Why do I do this to me? I've made a commitment. Now, depending on what kind of job if one of the jobs that I've applied for and I'm trying to get may alter their Sunday, may make that we're only be able to do for 2 hours instead of three. But we'll make something work. We may have to move our Tuesday. We never know what we're gonna do, but I'm trying to I'm trying to get a job. So we'll make sure that this keeps going. You all are fantastic. I truly love and appreciate each and every single one of you. Um, Scott's asking, can I donate through PayPal? Give me a little bit. I'll put a PayPal link in my keto shop. There is Cash App and all that stuff in there, depending on how you would like to do that. But I will put my PayPal link in there if anybody is interested in that as well. I'll drop that in there. Just give me a few minutes after the stream is over. But thank you all so very much. You guys are amazing. Super, super wonderful people. And I can't thank you enough. But here we go. Saying goodbye. I love you. Here are the credits. Until next time.